Balake. Where is Balake at?
My name's Blake.
Do you want to go to war, Balake? I'm for real. Ron.
Ron is right here, everyone. Welcome back for more SPTV, where every day's a great day not to be in a cult. I have to thank all of you who sent me a link to this amazing video that was published a week or two ago by this channel. Let me share it with you. The channel is called Pitch Meeting, and the creator behind this channel is a guy named Ryan George, who I now consider to be a comedic genius based on his content that I have been binging ever since I saw one of his most recent videos, which was a comedic take on the pitch meeting. What must the pitch meeting have been like for the movie Battlefield Earth? This is absolutely hilarious. I'm gonna the whole video is, I think, 5 minutes long. I'm gonna share it with you. I'm gonna try to share some insight from the perspective of a former Scientologist who read Battlefield Earth, who saw the movie Battlefield Earth, and anyway, this is just an excuse to share with you a really hilarious video. So let's take a look at it. We're going to look at it. We're going to watch it this way. We are full screen. Let me know in the live chat if the sound is okay. And here we go.
So, you have a movie for me? Yes, sir, I do. It's called Battlefield Earth, and it's based on a novel by L. Ron Hubbard.
I didn't know he wrote books. That's my favorite Muppet.
He's not a Muppet, actually. He's the founder of Scientology.
Oh, yeah, okay. They've been watching me.
What? So what happens in this thing? Well, the movie takes place in the year 3000, and humans were all but wiped out 1,000 years ago by these aliens called psychs. Subtle, I like it. But they're still...
Okay. But by the way, if you're getting too annoyed that I'm going to stop this video, I do have a link to the full video in the description down below. I remember when I was reading the book, I was still in Scientology when I was reading the book. And obviously, to a Scientologist, okay, backtrack a little bit. In Scientology, the source of all evil, not only on planet Earth, but in the entire Galactic Federation, and thus the galaxy as well, or the universe as well, are psychiatrists. In fact, now this is a little known fact, not all Scientologists will know the following. L. Ron Hubbard made a carve out in the basic Scientology principle that all spiritual beings are basically good. There's one exception: psychiatrists. Now, most Scientologists would say that's not true. I never heard him ever make a carve out for a psychiatrist. There were some L. Ron Hubbard advices that do not have wide distribution, that are considered confidential, where he says that psychiatrists are actually from the planet Farsec. And we're talking about, we're talking about things L. Ron Hubbard was talking about, where he's claiming these things were true from millions, billions, perhaps even trillions of years ago. And that they're actually the exception to the rule that beings are basically good. Psychiatrists are basically evil, and they come from the planet Farsec. And psychiatry and psychology were created as a tool to enslave populations and as a tool used by governments and all this stuff. So as a Scientologist, I already had an understanding of how we were to think of psychiatrists. And I did wonder whether psychlo, because psychlo obviously sounds like psycho, but it also sounds like psych. And psych and psychs is what Scientologists call psychiatrists. They call them the psychs. So I remember wondering whether a regular person, a non-Scientologist, reading the book would get the association with psychiatrists, or whether they would just think psycho. And so I asked you guys in the live chat or the comment section for the replay crew, if you had any familiarity with the book Battlefield Earth, or if you saw the movie Battlefield Earth and you saw that this aliens were called psychlos, did you pick up at all that that was supposed to be a connection to psychiatrists specifically and not just psychos? Let me know what you think. All right, here we go.
Out 1,000 years ago by these aliens called psychs. Subtle, I like it. But there's still a handful of humans left who are basically like cavemen now.
Interesting movie concept. Okay.
Oh yeah, this movie's literally going to turn some heads, sir. I think you mean figuratively. No, about 95% of the shots are going to be filmed using a Dutch tilt.
What? Why?
Because that automatically makes shots cool looking.
Whoa, look how cool you look.
Thank you. So we're going to meet the main character of this movie, this caveman named Johnny Goodboy.
Oh, that's a hero's name right there, or an adult film star, but I'm guessing it's the hero one.
It is.
Good. That was in my top 2 favorite options.
So all these cave people think the Earth is overrun by demons, but Johnny doesn't believe that, so he takes off to explore.
Okay.
And he gets captured by the Psychs and draws the attention of the security chief, Turl.
Wow.
Got to pause it right there. Okay. So, oh wait, my computer's off center. Sorry, guys. Security chief. So this is just a term used in a fantasy fiction book. It is also the exact same terminology that exists in the Sea Organization. Now, the Sea Organization is patterned more loosely after the Navy because L. Ron Hubbard was in the Navy, and I don't happen to know whether security chief is a term that's really used in the Navy or any other branch of the military. But and also as a Scientologist and even as a Sea Org member, when I was reading the book, part of my understanding of what L. Ron Hubbard was trying to do when he wrote fiction was to subtly introduce Scientology concepts into popular culture, and that it would sort of accomplish kind of a low-key, underhanded dissemination technique of kind of getting Scientology ideas or words or concepts accepted in society without people having to get over the fact that it was Scientology. So it was just one of these things where, as a Scientologist, as a Sea Org member, I'm like, oh, look, he's using Sea Org terminology, when in reality, I'm not sure if it even is real world terminology as well. So let me know what you guys think about that.
Ow.
Well, he uses a gun, and these aliens didn't know that humans would be smart enough to do that.
Oh, there aren't any ruins of human civilization left?
No, there are a ton. Full cities. I guess the aliens just didn't connect the dots that humans did that.
Very inobservant Psychs.
Anyway, Turl hates Earth, and he finds out that he's going to be stuck here for much longer than he thought, so he's upset.
So what's he gonna do?
A lot of evil laughs, just a whole lot of evil laughs over and over.
Okay. Anything else?
Oh, yeah, well, he hatches a plan to make the humans mine some gold for him.
Why does he want gold?
Because gold is valuable, sir. You know that.
Yeah, but to aliens from a different planet? Yes. Oh, okay. So why can't the aliens get this gold themselves?
Because it's in a spot with radiation, which makes the air the aliens breathe explode.
That's smart. Send in the humans, since we're immune to radiation.
Well, we don't necessarily explode immediately, but radiation's still very deadly for humans, sir.
Then why the hell did I just vacation for 3 weeks in Chernobyl?
I do not know. That was not a good idea.
I gotta call my doctor after this.
Probably. So in order to get leverage over Johnny, Turl wants to find out what his favorite food is.
So he, asks him.
No, he sends him out into the cold for 3 days until he desperately finds a rat to eat and then deduces that rat is their favorite food.
Oh, so he's like a big dumb idiot.
Well, he doesn't understand the basic concept of starvation, I'll tell you that much. So then he beams a bunch of knowledge into Johnny's head.
What?
Yeah, just a big beam of knowledge that teaches Johnny everything and makes him super smart.
It doesn't seem necessary.
Well, he needs him to get some gold in a cave, so he teaches him all the skills he needs to lead a revolution.
Right, okay.
And he's going to teach him how to fly an aircraft.
Why?
Because that's a skill I need Johnny to have later in the movie.
That makes sense.
And Johnny teaches all this stuff to the other cavemen, and they get smart too.
He's able to transmit to them all the information he got from an energy beam that taught him everything.
Yes, and now the humans need to go on the gold mining mission for 2 weeks, but they got a few tricks up their sleeves.
Okay, I just got to jump in. Even when I was reading the book, which for the record, for what it's worth, is much better than the movie. I need some of you guys out there to give me some feedback on if you had ever read the book before you saw the movie, and if so, did you like it? Because I got to be honest, and maybe this is just because I was a good little Scientology soldier at the time. I thought the book was amazing. I remember being absolutely blown away by the book. I had such high hopes for the movie, and I don't know. Do you guys remember when Mitt Romney was running for president? I guess, in some effort to humanize him, he sat down for one of these, interviews where they just ask him about all sorts of personal things about his personal life. And they asked him what his favorite novel was. And Mitt Romney said his favorite book was his favorite novel was Battlefield Earth. I was like, damn, it wasn't just the Scientologists who liked it. I remember really loving the book. And yet I still remember, even, through those rose-colored glasses or whatever, being like, how is he teaching these cavemen in this post-apocalyptic world how to fly fighter jets? Even that was a little dicey for me at the time. All right, let's keep going.
I would have thought that in the year 3000, they wouldn't have that cereal anymore.
Not what I meant. They intend to leave half the people on the gold mining mission and have the other half fly away on this secret mission.
Why leave half?
Because Turl is watching them.
And he won't notice half of them flying away?
That's what we're going with. So the plan is to fly to Fort Knox and get a bunch of gold and weapons.
How are they going to get into those?
The doors are open, sir, so they just walk in.
So when the aliens attacked 1,000 years ago, the humans opened the gold vault.
Yeah, and we learned that the attack only lasted 9 minutes, so that's like one of the only things.
Okay, in order for him to have done this video, he had to, or someone did. I'm assuming he writes his own stuff, but I guess it's possible that he has help. He must have watched this movie so many times and paid so much attention to the details. I only saw this movie once, believe it or not. I know there's a lot of Sea Org members who were, I think it was it Tom Cruise? I think Tom Cruise rented out a movie theater, rented out the entire movie theater, probably the Man's Chinese Theater. And there were Sea Org members who, I was not in the Sea Org when this movie came out. I didn't join the Sea Org until later. But the Sea Org members in Los Angeles, in Hollywood, were bussed to the theaters to see this movie over and over again. And I'm not sure whether that was just to make Tom Cruise feel good that he did something good for Sea Org members, or whether it was an effort to juice the box office revenue for this movie, which was an absolute bust. I'm not sure. All I know is an awful lot of Sea Org members got a lot of much needed sleep while watching that movie. But the fact that he's been able to break down all of the inconsistencies and contradictions in the movie is very impressive to me. And I don't know. I don't think anybody could do that just watching the movie one time, but I am impressed. All right, let's keep going.
Things they did.
Well, okay then.
So Turl comes back to check on the gold mining process, and they use the gold bars from Fort Knox to pretend like they've actually been working this whole time.
Is it not insanely suspicious that the gold that they're mining is in bar form?
Well, he does ask about that, but Johnny's like, well, sir, we figured you'd prefer it this way.
Did he leave them with smelting tools to even do that?
He did not, but he believes them anyway. And now Johnny just has a week to train all these cavemen for his revolution.
Train them to do what exactly?
Well, they're going to have to fly some jets to fight the aliens.
They have to fly jets? It's going to be impossible to teach cavemen to fly jets in under a week.
Actually, it's going to be super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because see, Johnny Goodboy finds a flight simulator, so that solves that problem.
You know what? It does. But how does that thing have functioning electricity after 1,000 years?
Well, if the humans haven't been around for 1,000 years, that means there was no one around to unplug it, sir.
That makes sense. No further questions on that.
And now it's time to get in the jets and fight.
Hey, what's the shelf life of jet fuel?
Jet fuel doesn't have shelves, sir. It's liquid.
Right.
Where would you install shelves?
I don't know what I was thinking.
Sometimes you say pretty ridiculous stuff, sir. Anyway, these newly trained cavemen get in the 1,000-year-old jets and fly away to fight the aliens.
Oh boy, so what's the plan?
Well, there's this big glass dome that if they destroy it, the aliens won't be able to breathe anymore.
Suffocating cyclos is tight.
And they're also going to teleport one of their guys to the Cyclone planet and blow that up with a nuclear bomb.
Which also works after 1,000 years.
Obviously.
And it goes well.
It does. So they save the Earth, but they do lose a couple of cavemen along the way.
Oh no, cavemen. Were they important ones?
They were in the movie a little, sir.
Oh no.
And so the humans lock Turl in a cage surrounded by gold and make fun of him a little bit, and we're done. So what do you think?
Well, it sounds like a movie.
For all intents and purposes, it is, technically.
Amazing. Well, I don't see how this could go wrong. Let's spend a bunch of money on it.
Hi, this is Ryan.
My goodness, absolutely amazing. Now, at the time, I was not aware of what Scientologists are told, what they learn, the super secret confidential information that they learn on OT3 about Xenu and the volcanoes and the hydrogen bombs and all that stuff. But if I had, I might have thought there was an interesting overlap between the story of Xenu and the fact that he's imprisoned in some sort of eternal electronic prison somewhere in the Himalayan mountains, where like the thing's powered by like an eternal battery or something like this. And the fact that they chose to imprison Turl the way that he did in some sort of eternal prison instead of just killing him, which would make the most obvious sense. But I don't know if that was intentional or not. So anyhow, just wanted to share that with you. An absolute bit of comedic gold and just having a little bit of fun here this evening. Let's see. Andrea Russo says, we closed the entire Cincinnati org down when this came out and we all went. Unheard of. What a huge deal this was at the time. That is amazing. Helen D. I was a big fan of Richard Tyson, who was in that movie. And yes, I did watch it. I wonder what his take on it is. And he might talk to you about being in it. Wow. All right. Let me make a little note here. Richard Tyson. I'll see what I can do about that. Thank you very much. Wayne's World of Science and Technology. One History Channel did a video covering L. Ron Hubbard's naval career. It was scathing. Well, I'll tell you, there's actually an entire book that was written on L. Ron Hubbard's naval career. And let me pull it up here so I don't get any part of this wrong. The title of the book is Ron the War Hero, but that is, of course, a bit tongue-in-cheek there because the book is very, very much a real story of the well, here's the full title of the book. Ron the War Hero, the true story of L. Ron Hubbard's calamitous military career. The author is Chris Owen, and I highly recommend the book. You can get it on Amazon. It's absolutely incredible. All right, everyone, just a short one. That's probably all I'm going to do for today. Thank you all for hanging out with me. Thank you all, as always, for watching until the very end, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not,